We begin tonight with breaking news that we're following in Holyoke, a shooting this afternoon with multiple victims. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday. Welcome to Western Mass News at 5. I'm Chris Pisano.
And I'm Abby Carnevale. We've learned that one of the injured was on a PVTA bus. And now we have team coverage with Western Mass News reporter Daniel Santiago live with the latest from the scene. Kristen Burnell is standing by with how ShotSpotter technology is helping police in cases like this. But first, we begin with Daniel. Are you able to share details of what you've seen today?
Well, Chris, Abby, we spent all afternoon right here at the scene, and for the past 4 hours, we've seen multiple state and local police cruisers coming and going. We found that heavy police response when we first got to the scene, with the intersection of Maple and Sargent Streets closed off to traffic following a shooting here just before 1 p.m. State police joining Holyoke police in the investigation. State police now confirms multiple victims suffered gunshot wounds and were transported to a hospital for treatment. They say their preliminary investigation has found that one of the victims was on a bus that was passing through the area. We saw a PVTA bus in the middle of the closed-off area when we arrived, and it was there on the scene for about 2 hours. Western Mass News also found multiple witnesses were standing by, keeping a close eye on everything that was unfolding right in front of us.
I heard about 8 shots. I was standing down the street waiting on the bus, and I just heard pop, 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 and then I seen one police car come down, and then I seen about 1,000 more come after that.
This is an active investigation, and we're waiting for new information to be released. Once it is, we'll bring those to you. Reporting live in Holyoke, Daniel Santiago, Western Mass News.
Daniel, thank you for that live report. And our team coverage now turns to new ShotSpotter technology that's helping Holyoke police track gun violence in the city.
The department saying it's something that worked during today's incident, too. And Western Mass News reporter Kristen Burnell joins us live from Holyoke. Kristen, how has the department used this tool?
Chris and Abby, Holyoke Police told us today that ShotSpotter activation is helping the city, or rather are happening more often in the city than they had originally predicted. They say it was activated during the shooting that happened this afternoon.
We're all police officers here. We all thought we knew exactly how many incidents we were having and what was going on. ShotSpotter has opened our eyes to a lot more incidents of gunfire than we had anticipated.
Wednesday's shooting in Holyoke adding to the alarming new data released by the Holyoke Police Department just hours earlier, revealing how ShotSpotter technology has helped the force.
And I believe that this system is giving us the tools we need. It's given the men and women of the Holyoke Police Department the tools to get us to the right place so that the public sees us.
Chief David Pratt tells Western Mass News the technology helps detect gunfire in the city, alerting police of where the shots were fired through a centralized warning system. Since the technology was first implemented in March, Holyoke police have collected the following data. 113 incidents involving gunfire, 457 rounds detected, 72 incidents happening near a playground, 27 incidents occurring near a school, and 110 reported near a business. Today's incident has not been added to their official tally yet. Also, there have been 7 guns recovered, 10 arrests, and 6 victims with ShotSpotter technology in place.
It pains me to be in a position where I have to invest in things like this to help reduce issues around gun violence and keep the public safe. But we're going to do what we can, just like investing in this system that has proven to be effective to date.
Now, Holyoke police add the number of 911 calls pertaining to gun-related incidents is much lower than they want them to be. But they did say during today's incident they received multiple 911 calls, but they do want the community to come together to help with that case. I'll have much more on that coming up tonight at 6. For now, reporting live in Holyoke, Kristen Burnell, Western Mass News.
An update tonight on a story that we've been following all afternoon out of Holyoke. Police now confirming today's shooting turned fatal earlier this evening. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday. Welcome to Western Mass News 11 at 11. I'm Chris Pisano. Western Mass News reporter Maria Wilson joins us now live in Holyoke with what we know so far. Maria.
Chris, a pregnant woman was among the injured during today's daytime shooting here in Holyoke. We tragically have learned that her baby did not survive. Shortly before 1 o'clock this afternoon, a chaotic fight broke out on the corner of Maple and Sargent Streets here in Holyoke. Police say that 3 men were fighting, which ultimately led to a shooting. As gunshots were exchanged among the men, police say a round hit a bus that was in the area. The pregnant woman, uninvolved in the fight, was believed to be, she was on the bus. Police believe that one of the rounds struck the bus that she was riding on. She was taken to a nearby hospital in critical condition. When she arrived, medical personnel delivered the baby, who needed life-saving medical services, but despite their best efforts, the infant tragically passed away. The district's attorney's office says that the suspects have been in custody. Their names not released at this time. We will continue to bring you any details as soon as they become available to us. For now, reporting live in Holyoke, Maria Wilson, Western Mass News.
Learning new information about the victims and suspects in the horrifying shooting yesterday in downtown Holyoke that led to the death of a newborn baby. Thanks for joining us, everyone. For Western Mass News at 5, I'm Chris Pisano.
And I'm Abby Carnevale. We begin tonight with team coverage for you in Western Mass News. Reporter Daniel Santiago is standing by at the Holyoke County District Court. But first, we begin with Kristen Burnell. Kristen, what did the city's mayor announce today?
Well, Chris and Abby, on the heels of yesterday's deadly shooting, Mayor Joshua Garcia spoke out today, saying plans are in the works to address concerns over violence in the city. Now, just yesterday, a woman who was 8 months pregnant was caught in the crossfire of the shooting while riding a PVTA bus in the 100 block of Sargent Street, resulting in the loss of her infant. The 29-year-old woman remains in critical condition. Mayor Garcia shared with Western Mass News that he spent last night at the hospital with the unidentified woman's boyfriend, providing him support. He shared there is a lot of work to be done in the city following this act of violence.
But the magnitude of the issues doesn't allow me to do more than scratch the surface of what we are dealing with here in the city of Holyoke. And even though that's the case, I tell you this from the depths of my grief, that I still have as much hope and vision and faith in the future of Holyoke as that young woman on the PVTA bus had for her baby.
Now, community members we spoke with today shared their concerns about public safety in Holyoke. Mayor Garcia has this message for the public as efforts are underway in his office to keep the city safer.
Watch what's happening in your neighborhoods. Call, text if you see something that you know is not right. Work together with your neighbors and demand the expectation you want for your neighborhoods and for your community, because I can't do this alone.
Now, coming up tonight at 6, we'll hear from one local business owner who owns a restaurant just around the corner from where that deadly shooting happened yesterday. For now, reporting live in Holyoke, Kristen Burnell, Western Mass News.
Kristen, thank you for that live report. And our team coverage now turns to the suspects in this fatal shooting, one of them facing a judge this morning.
Western Mass News reporter Daniel Santiago joins us live outside Holyoke District Court. Daniel, what happened there today?
Chris, Abby, 22-year-old Alejandra Ramos was arraigned today in court in connection with the death of the baby of a pregnant woman who got shot yesterday while riding a bus. Western Mass News in the Holyoke courtroom as Alejandra Ramos made an appearance Thursday morning charged with murder. The 22-year-old's right hand was seen wrapped in bandages and covered in blood. He stood there listening as the prosecution was recalling what happened the day before.
This was a gun battle that occurred in broad daylight at a busy intersection here in the city of Holyoke. This individual, as well as 2 others, were all involved in that altercation that took place at the intersection outside of the market. And tragically, one of those rounds struck a passing city bus, wounding a female victim and her 8-month-old unborn baby. Died as a result of those injuries.
At the request of the prosecution, the judge agreed to impound all court documents related to this case due to the sensitive nature of the ongoing investigation. A second suspect in this shooting remains hospitalized. 30-year-old John Luis Sanchez is also facing a murder charge. For Ramos, a not guilty plea was entered, and he'll remain in custody until his next court date on November 3rd.
All right, so Mr. Ramos would be held without right to bail. That would be done so without prejudice and a new date.
According to the Hamden District Attorney's Office, there is also a third suspect being sought by law enforcement. We'll continue to follow this story closely and bring you the latest details as we get them. For now, reporting live in Holyoke, Daniel Santiago, Western Mass News.